The Wolfpack Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Wolfpack Show. I am Orlando Cardenas. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Miss Norma Luna.
Hey guys, we are here in Wolfpack Studios. It is located in the Center of Advanced Wellness. So if you have any spa needs, they will hook you up. They're going to hook me up soon. And also we have our health and wellness expert, Mr. John Garza with Herbalife.
Yeah, so welcome, Mr. John. Welcome, Norma. So one of the other topics that we're going to be talking about today is the power of your words. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss that.
So, John, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Hey, I have a question for you. You have Herbalife.
Correct.
What caused you, or what was the reason of you selling Herbalife?
Well, the main reason was because I didn't want to jump pant sizes from a 36 to a 38.
Okay.
So I decided to...
No offense, my 38 pant-wearing friends, but okay, sorry.
Yes. But basically, I didn't want to buy 38 pants. So I wanted to go from a 36 to a 34. That's why I decided to do some type of product to lose weight and keep it off. Okay. So
Nice.
that's my main focus.
So I don't know. Have you ever taken Herbalife?
Never.
Okay.
Well,
I currently do. Okay.
Okay.
I have noticed a big difference. One, I do several things. Like I drink the tea. I drink the supplement shake. Every once in a while, when I want a little something sweet, I'll try those little brownie things or the little donuts or whatever. So I like it. And okay. So earlier, before we started filming the show, I was like feeling down. And
That's
John gave us
true.
this shot, and it just boosted me up.
It was
Now
a
Norma and I can't stop laughing.
I know, right? We started the show, kind of stopped, and just bubbly here and there. But I've never tried it before, and it's actually really good. So, what is this?
It's a mixture of Nightworks.
Okay.
And then there's also CR7, which is hydration. And then there's a lift off, which gives you focus. It gives you more alert, and
Okay.
also gives you a boost of energy.
Okay.
So what was the name of this drink here? It's kind of like a purplish drink.
Well, yes, it's just a different drink that has different ingredients, products in the drink. So, but we have so many ingredients that we can add. It's just depending on who's making it determines what they need because they know how they feel.
Okay.
So there's different products in
Correct.
this tea. So it's not just one tea and that's it.
No, there's
So
different.
it's kind of like custom made.
okay.
tea.
Yes.
Like let's
Okay.
say for example, I walk in and I say, Norman and I walk in. And I say, hey, you know what, John or bartender. I don't know, what do you call it, barista or?
No, I call myself a bartender.
Okay, okay.
But
Okay.
the
No
without
alcohol.
the alcohol.
Yeah, okay.
It's the
So-
healthy one.
So I come in and I say, hey, John, you know what? I want a drink, but I'm feeling a little down today, like I did tell you earlier. Or if maybe Norma comes in and says, hey, I want something for.
Actually, that's a true statement because I'm powerlifting, but I would like something. I don't see the weight loss on the scale. I am gaining muscle, but I want to lose more fat. So is there something there that you can
Well,
bartend?
but you're able to customize each drink for that, okay?
And each individual is different.
Okay.
Each individual is different. The metabolism's different. The energy, the commitment, the dedication regarding within themselves and the product.
Okay.
Because everyone, like I said, everyone's different. There's not two people that are the same.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, even though we're almost twinning, her and I, yeah, you're right. We do have different bodies. Okay, so let me ask you this. I know you have some items that are prepared that you want to talk to us about.
Correct.
That you want to focus on. For our listeners out there that actually have never used
Like
an
me.
Herbalife product, yeah, like Norma, what would you recommend? I mean, what do you have to offer? Because I know that you have a big product line, right?
Correct. So I would basically ask a few questions. What's your goal?
Okay.
What is it that you're trying to accomplish? If it's weight loss, then we have a routine that we do for weight loss management.
Okay.
2 teas, 2 shakes, 2 snacks, and 1 meal prep.
Okay.
And doing that as a routine, day in, day out, you'll see at least 4 pounds a week
Wow.
off.
Okay. Nice. And you said that's with like a meal replacement, which is
Correct, the protein
shake.
shakes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's all Herbalife because we can compare 2 shakes back to back, like shake A, shake B, and the ingredients in those shakes are different.
Okay.
So people have that mindset like, well, I'm already taking protein shakes.
Right.
Well, it's not Herbalife product. It can be a GNC product. It can be a different product, but it's not the same.
So what do you think separates, let's say, Herbalife from like a GNC product?
Correct. The ingredients,
Okay.
the plant-based sugar.
Okay.
Oh, that makes a big difference.
Yes, sugar is almost like the number one enemy.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I try to stay away from. Even though I love sugar.
Correct. But when we look at the ingredients side by side, shake by shake, Herbalife is
Better
it's
products,
the
better-
quality.
better-
It's the
better
quality.
Okay.
ingredients.
You're buying quality. It's kind of like collagen. You know, you see collagen.
Right.
Herbalife, let's just say a number, $50, and you go to Walmart and you see the same collagen for $25.
What's the
Why
difference?
does that collagen cost $25 at Walmart versus Herbalife $50? It's quality. Why does water cost $1 a gallon versus alkaline $5 a gallon? It's quality. It's all based on quality.
Okay. So again, better
Interesting.
ingredients, type of deal. All right.
Correct.
Very
Okay.
interesting.
So is there any other products you want to tell us about?
The shakes are phenomenal. It's a meal replacement. So instead of having our tacos, we can have our shakes.
Okay. So I've had a few of those shakes. I had like a banana split shake one time. Oh my God. It literally felt like I was at Dairy Queen drinking one of those shakes, but it was good for me, right? So I think you were there the day I ordered that, right?
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that. There, what it kind of has in there. How many calories you guys?
The calories on the shake? Sure. 90 calories.
90 calories.
And
That's
I,
it?
And I have an actual container here of the protein shake.
I thought you were gonna say you had some shakes. I was like,
No.
Bust them
The
bad boys
label.
out.
The label here, 90 calories.
Okay.
So it's not me making up these numbers. It's on the label itself.
Sure. Okay. So that one, for example, you add that as a base, and then you add like the bananas and all the other good stuff.
Correct. But just keep in mind, when you add stuff, you're adding calories.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is just with water.
Water
correct?
and ice.
Okay. Because I use almond milk for my protein shakes, but this has 18 grams of protein, which is really good.
That's high, yeah.
Yeah, well, because I power lift, I have to at least eat a minimum of 100 grams of protein a day.
A day, okay.
A day.
So how do you normally get that in your body now?
I have to supplement.
Okay.
Because I also am a calorie counter. So I eat 1,800 calories a day. So I have to go to my protein shakes so that I can at least get 20 to 40 grams because I'll double scoop it. So instead of the 20 grams of protein, I will get 40 grams of protein. I'll get my meal. But yeah, this is my go-to is protein shakes.
Okay.
So if this is going to help me, maybe something that I can incorporate into, because I incorporate it already,
Sure.
but maybe something that I can see a difference in my body if I follow that. But I need to eat.
Well, not only that, but I'm sure you're going to get to a point where you're going to plateau, and you're going to want something.
That's exactly where I'm at.
Plateauing out.
I'm not losing fat, like weight on the scale.
Okay.
I'm gaining. I'm maintaining my weight, but I'm losing.
You're getting muscle.
Right. Yeah. I'm not losing the fat. Is what I'm saying. Is that so? I've plateaued on the fat.
So what would you, for someone in that situation, John? What would you have to offer for that?
The Herbal Lifeline. It's an omega-3.
Okay.
What's that?
So for those that
It's a
don't know what
supplement.
that is,
Right.
Well, basically what it does, it attacks the fat.
Okay.
It attacks the fat, and that's my main focus that I'm focusing on right now is my gut area, this midsection here, because they call my body skinny fat.
Okay.
So everywhere else is skinny, but my belly area is where it's the other area that sticks out. The other area that sticks
a lot
out.
of fat there. Just
I
saying.
think I'm just classified as fat. So
Yeah,
I'm big girl fat. Just saying.
thick.
You're thick.
I'm thick.
You got
thick.
that thickness.
You know, like those shakes that you just like with a big straw, you're like, and can't get it out.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay, so John, how can people get a hold of you?
They can call me directly. They can either call me, text me, or visit my website.
Okay.
I send everybody my website, and that's where they see the products, they see the price, and if they want to order, they order through the website.
Okay.
Awesome.
So and we'll put that information on the podcast itself for you. Okay, giveaways. I know you said you had some products to either give away or you had some specials, a Wolfpack special that you're going to offer our listeners.
Yes, I basically give everyone a free tea.
Okay.
For whether it's energy, whether it's detox, however the individual's feeling, because sometimes we eat, and we don't really flush it out.
Sure.
So by retaining all that food, we wake up tired, we wake up sluggish, and that's an ugly feeling to feel in the morning.
Yes.
Like, I just woke up and I'm already tired. How does that even work?
Right.
You know, so and I kept looking and researching. Well, yeah, we're eating late night, you know, 2, 3 in the morning after the clubs, you know, and it's just like,
I
come
feel
on.
attacked.
I know. I'm like, let's both just look.
We're just like,
No, it's just
I'm looking at Jonathan
it's
over
just
there.
me. I mean, it's just anybody
I'm looking at my
that
drinking
goes
buddy.
out, you know. It's just like we need to, like, you know,
Yeah.
have
No
something in our
comment.
system.
no, but okay, so yeah, I like that because so Jonathan and I, we're customers of yours, right? We that's why we're here because I believe in the products. Jonathan after a few nights of drinking on the weekend, we'll flush. Like we'll have his trust me, right, Jonathan? It flushes you out. We feel all the toxins just coming out because you do feel lethargic. You feel all like you've been partying all weekend, So at my age, I'm 48 years old. Trust me, a good flushing goes a long way. Okay. Well, first of all, we want to thank you.
Thank you.
For being a part of the Wolfpack show. We will be bringing John in as one of our health and wellness experts. So stay tuned for more. He'll be here a few segments down the road. But John, again, we want to thank you for coming out here. We want to thank you for sponsoring the show. And if you guys want a free shake or a free tea, I'm sorry, contact John. The information is going to be on the screen here for you. Right there, actually, should be on right now. But contact John and he'll hook you guys up.
Yes.
So thank you, John. We appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Wolfpack Show.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the power of your words. Now, what do I mean by the power of your words?
I don't know.
So, we all know that words are important. Why are they important? Okay, words can be used for many things, right? We know they can be used to bless, to
Right.
motivate, to encourage, inspire. They can be used to affirm people. All right, but they can also be used the wrong way. They can also be used to curse people, to insult, offend, demean people. Right, and even discourage people. All right, words can't change our reality, but they can definitely change how people perceive reality.
Right.
Okay. Words can create filters, which how people view the world around them. All right, and
Like
honestly,
Snapchat filters.
Well, yeah, okay, but just a different type of filter, right?
Right.
But a single word can even make the difference between you liking a person or disliking a person. For example, we just had John Garza in here. If John Garza would have walked in here. And let's say, for example, before he walked in here, I said to you, "Hey, we have John Garza on here. He's a bit of an a-hole, or he's a really nice guy, or here's John Garza, and he's a little off." You know what I mean?
Right.
The first thing you would think about after that,
My perception of him is going to be very of what you said.
Yeah, exactly. Even though because I know him more than you do, you're going to be thinking that, right?
Right.
So we definitely want to make sure that we watch what we say in different parts of our lives, right? So Norma, let's give the viewers a little more examples of how powerful our words can be.
Right.
Remember, words can only create emotions, but they create actions, right?
Right.
So,
Well, I know that over apologizing is
Okay.
huge. Over apologizing can sound like a weakness. It can bring you to having insecurities and also trauma responses. And I was a huge person to say sorry for everything that I did. And
okay,
you
so I remember that. Yeah, when I first met you, I remember. This is one situation, right? Because I remember a few of them. But there was one situation where I was making you laugh because I'm a clown, and I'm the funniest man ever. Okay, so I was making you laugh, and you have this big laugh, right? Really loud and pretty laugh. I've always told Norma her laugh should be on like a soundtrack, like in shows, TV shows. But anyway, she was laughing loud in the restaurant, and she kept saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "What are you sorry about?" Yeah, for laughing. Like, why are you sorry? You're laughing. I mean. Laugh. I don't blame you. I am a funny guy. I'm hilarious.
And
right?
you know what? I've had to learn how not to apologize. And it even goes into different aspects of your life, not only in your personal, but also social and even business wise.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, you don't want to just keep apologizing for something that you didn't do. And if you did, you have to learn how to not show that other person the weakness or the insecurity by, if you did something wrong, it's okay to apologize once.
Yeah, like for example, if I stepped on your foot, I'm sorry.
Right. And that's a legitimate reason to apologize.
Yeah.
But if you just, you're borrowing a pen. Oh, hey, you know what? I'm gonna borrow your pen real quick. I'm gonna return it. Is it okay if I borrow your pen?
Sure.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I really needed this.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep apologizing for that, and it just gives you that self-assurance, that positivity, that confidence, not to just apologize.
Well, you're right, because there's a lot of people that they have that whole the bully gene, right?
Right.
They look for it. Over apologizing is one of those things where if that person hears the other person over apologizing, right away they think, okay, they're weaker than me, so I'm gonna kind of bully them a little bit. And sometimes it's subconsciously you're doing it, right? I've known people that apologize for eating an extra donut. And I like you said, I think it goes back to the whole trauma bond where you're in a bad relationship, and you had to apologize for things that you didn't even do, or maybe even coming close to doing, right? Because you didn't want to hear it from somebody. So yeah, that's one of the things that you words wise that you want to kind of avoid doing is over apologizing.
Correct.
Here's another thing. How about like down talking? Talking down to yourself. You're like, I'm so stupid, or I'm never gonna succeed.
Mm-hmm. I'm so fat.
Yes, I'm
fat. Ugly.
Yeah. I mean, you really have to be mindful when it comes to your words, because when you're placing labels on yourself or others, they may stick around for a lifetime.
Right.
Right. I mean, we talked to a few people earlier that they talked about how just their last name gave them pretty much a very bad childhood, because he was part of this family, and the rest of the family was this family, right? He was the only child of this family, the rest was from this family,
and he felt rejected
because just one word,
right.
It was his last name.
Right.
He had no fault, but again, that stuck with him. I mean, the guy's probably 40 something years old, and that's something that he's had to overcome, right? So again, down talking yourself, you don't want to call yourself things, like I'm really bad about when say for example Jonathan and I, we talk a lot of shit together, like
talk a lot of shit.
Day long,
yes, you do.
And when you're not here, he's just as bad, if not worse.
He acts so innocent, like why is he talking about me like that? He stepped away because he knew we were talking about him.
But I have how can I say it? I have a bad habit of saying, it's right here, stupid, or come on, jackass,
dummy,
or you're such an asshole. We say things like that to each other, playing around, because at the same time, we know it's a joke, but me, I'm always telling him, hey, good job, or thank you for that, or hey, that was a good idea, or so I try to uplift him more than I talk shit. Right.
But
I think that's a guy thing.
Just down talking in general. If you start to do the complete opposite of down talking and up talking, it can help your confidence. It can change your day. Like, instead of waking up and saying, God, I have to go to work, it should be, I get to go to work. Yeah, sure. I was blessed with this job, even though I don't like it, but I have a job.
Yeah.
Think about the positive, because a lot of people that down talk usually look at the glass half empty,
for sure,
when they should look at it as half full, because you got something when you could have had nothing.
Well, and a lot of times, like you said, it goes back to the trauma bond. Growing up, I had a relative that every time his mom introduced him, he was the bad kid. And so what he had to live up to, he lived up to the persona of being the bad kid.
Right.
The bad boys, there was a basketball team back in the day, and an NBA team, and they were the bad boys of the NBA. So they lived up to the moniker of being the bad boys. So we definitely have to learn to give ourselves more credit and give others more credit. And again, Jonathan, that's a different kind of scenario for us, because we talk crap when we're joking around. A couple guys, we're together all day long, sometimes 7 days a week. So, but we also know that it's just crap talking. It's not necessarily. I mean, I wouldn't come up to him just looking at him like, God, you're the stupidest person I ever met.
Right.
Because he's not. He's actually a brilliant young man.
And
I love him. I love him to death. But I mean, we do that joking around. Other people that they hear us, they don't really understand our dynamic.
But they don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But we wouldn't do that to other people. Because part of what we're trying to do is to motivate people, right?
Right.
So because motivating, like I try to speak. Every word that I speak, I try to speak words that lift up, never words that tear down.
Right.
That's part of what I do.
We need more of that in our lives, and in this world.
It's taken a long time for me to get there, because before I always focused on this guy, and that's it. I didn't care about anything else, but I learned that there is no one person in me. My success doesn't come from just me. It comes from a team that has been built around me, right? I have to be, if I'm the arm, someone else has to be the leg, and then the head.
The
and
torso.
Exactly. So, it's just like in the body of Christ. In business, there's a full body. So I had to learn that if I was only going to step up and be stronger if I motivated people around me to step up as well.
Right.
Like letting people know that they're doing a good job. Using my words to acknowledge someone's accomplishments. Like, hey, Norma, or like earlier, I used
he down talked me just like that.
No, I used constructive criticism.
Okay.
And I said you need more energy because you're flat, right? Well, not there. Obviously,
I don't think I'm flat.
We know you're good there, but. That was a way of using my words to build up and to, bring out the natural energy that you have, right? And that's why you see what you see on camera, because Norma is phenomenal.
Oh,
right?
Thank you.
So, yeah. Aww. So, but we don't want to use harsh words when it comes, I'm a professional motivator.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone somewhere and, there's people on their last leg, and they're just like, hey, look, whatever you said up there, it inspired me to get going and to move on. Yeah. So.
And that's what we need to do now, more than ever, because we're in such a world where it's so negative. You can't say, people just down talk to each other. They say negative things to each other. And we really need to focus on, making people think that they are worthy.
Sure.
Everybody is worthy of being here. And why are we going to be talking negative to somebody if we don't even know them?
Or and even about somebody.
And even if you do know them and they are, you don't like them, it's okay. You don't have to say, I'd rather say nothing or just.
And that's where I struggle.
And when I don't like somebody, it's very hard for me to be mean to them because
Oh, not me. If I don't like somebody, I'll tell you, I didn't like that person. I met somebody earlier I didn't like.
Even to the point where it's like they've done me wrong. It's a struggle that we all face, but we have to be able to, they're imperfect. I'm imperfect.
Like
what is it that they did? They did me wrong, but I forgave them for myself. I didn't forgive them for them. I forgave them for myself because I want, they're good people. Everybody's good. There's always good intentions in everybody. We just need to embellish it with our words to them.
See, but okay, so you're a better person than me. Obviously, I don't go around talking crap about everybody and anybody, but I will be very vocal when I feel a bad vibe from somebody, and it's only because I've examined every aspect of why I'm saying what I'm saying. I try not to say it to everybody, but when I'm in my circle, I'll be very honest and say, look, I that person rubbed me the wrong way.
Right.
I'll continue to work with them. I'll be what do you call it, cordial. And professional. But if someone rubs me the wrong way and you're my bestie, I'm gonna say, look, I didn't like this person because of this
and
reason.
That's okay. You have every right to your feelings.
Sure.
Me personally, I'm going to be nice, say something positive, and then go up on my way. I can get out of that conversation saying I didn't say anything negative, because the moment I say something negative or you say something negative, that's when the banter starts with back and forth. She was such a bitch. She fucking told me this and that. I'm like, I'm sorry. But, I don't want that.
And that goes to the next thing, gossiping. Okay.
Right.
I understand there's a difference. There's gossiping and there's stating the facts, right? I can say, something, Norma has a black blouse on, blue jeans. That's a fact. But if I said, I don't know how Norma squeeze herself into them jeans, but that's a different type of conversation.
Shoes.
Yeah. Everybody's been complimenting her shoes, by the way. I'm not sure she knows, but she's on a podcast, and look, they're really nice. But again, there's different parts, right? And in gossiping, again, I'm not perfect. I try not to get caught up in the whole gossiping thing. But it does happen.
Right.
It does. My thing is, I'll never say something that's not true about somebody. And if I do say something, it's always because I've exhausted every opportunity with that person. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay away because of this thing. This is the reason why, or, whatever. That's just me, right? I'm not all like you where you can't say nothing bad about nobody, which I think that's full of crap, because I've heard you say bad things about
I talk, but I talk to my inner circle. Like, I will vent and say, you know what, this happened.
Yes.
But to actually,
What to do to a
downplay-
stranger, it's different, right? When
Right.
you're just talking, just people that just want to talk about everybody to anybody.
I've
Anybody will
been
listen.
in a line at the grocery. Oh, did you see what that girl had on? I'm like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And it wasn't what I would wear, but hey, to each their own. She was happy, and it was at Walmart, of course.
It always has to be at Walmart.
Has to be at
okay,
Walmart.
so spiritually, Norma, I know you got some information about the spiritual end of your words, right?
Spiritually, a lot of people that have, their beliefs, we have to remember that if we have to talk to people and encourage. I'm going to quote something. I hope you don't mind. It's Ephesians 4:29. It states, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen."
Okay.
So
I love that.
how-
And before you get started, before we go anywhere, I want you to know that we can always discuss scripture here. That's why we're friends.
Right.
Because even though, we do say a few curse words here and there, we try to live by what the Bible says, right?
I try
so
so
I'm
hard.
not one of those guys that I don't discuss religion in my show. Well, that's good for you. I don't mind. I don't shy away
Right.
from who I serve, right? But
Right.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but this really spoke to me because I try to live that way. I try to encourage people, like even just seeing a stranger at the store and I see their outfit or a smile is even just positive words to people who you don't even know. Like, hey, you know what? You look great today. Hey, you know what? I love that blouse. Or because you never know, that moment for that person could have been the worst moment that they could have just gone home and say, I'm done.
Very true.
And I've heard many stories where people have been spiritual in their life and they overflow it into reality. Because a lot of people don't do that. There's not a lot of positive words. And, Jesus, that's what he was, is about God. About love. Jesus is love. And
Well, it's the whole thing where they say, and Jonathan and I go back and forth about this all the time. We say, you don't know that you're a Christian by your love.
Right.
It's easy to be sour and ugly and mean and all this other stuff. But if we're trying to portray a good Christian person,
Right.
It's not because we don't go drinking on a Friday night or anything like that. It's because we are loving people, right?
Right.
Speaking of that, I've got a Bible quote. It says, it's Proverbs 15:4. Gentle words bring life and health, and a deceitful tongue crushes the spirit.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times people have said something bad about me. I'm like, okay, but the people that know me, they turn around and say, and I think this goes for everybody in the room,
Right.
and the people that are listening. When people know you, they come back and say, they said this about you, but I know who you really are, right? I know that. Go ahead.
that goes exactly what you just said earlier about John. Oh, John is an a-hole. And the
Which
first
he's not.
person,
We
well,
just-
he's
we
not.
use it
No,
as
he's
an
really.
example.
I'm
Yeah,
just sorry,
yeah,
John.
yeah.
But always, Herbalife, give
Yeah.
him a call. But when you talk negative about somebody, that's the first perception that you have of them. So
Sure.
why even go there? Why even down talk somebody? If you know them, great, but don't give that impression to somebody else. Let them
find out for
because
themselves.
they may be a great click together,
Yes.
and then me and him don't have a great click, but we do. We all hang out together. We all have a good time.
Sure.
We just are picking on John.
Yeah,
That's what
'cause
happens.
It's an example. Yeah, it's an example. Yeah. So that was good. Okay, so now how about in a relationship? Right? In a relationship, your words. This is a quote that I heard. Your words have more power than atom bombs. Okay. I've been in relationships before where, man, we fought to the death. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's Japan. I don't like Japan. And all of a sudden, well, yeah, well, you're fat and you're this and you're that. Like, those words come out, and it's kind of like a tube of toothpaste. Once you squeeze the paste out, you can't push it back in. Once it comes out of your mouth, especially in a relationship, you can't unsay things, right? So in relationships, ever since then, I learned that I'm just not going to say it. I'll defend whatever the situation is. I don't have to always be right. I'm quick to apologize, but I'm not the kind of guy that is constantly complaining. See, here's the thing. For those of you that are in relationships, when you're in a relationship, the last thing you want to do is constantly complain about your partner. Okay, for example,
others, especially
to others, and not just that, but to them too. Because I mean, if I'm coming home to you and you're constantly telling me how I smell, or I'm bad, or I'm this, or I'm a horrible husband, or I'm a horrible boyfriend, that starts to stay in my head, and like I said, it has long-lasting effects. I knew somebody that the woman never gets a gift ever.
Right.
And all of a sudden, her and her husband were on the rocks a little bit. They've been on the rock for a few years. And she's very vocal about it. We all know about it because she puts it all over her social media. The guy went out and got her flowers.
Nice.
You would think.
But
right?
that's not what she's thinking.
But that's not what she said. Her thing was more like, after all this time,
right.
and divorce papers later, here
Ya
I am.
cuando?
Yeah, here he is trying to do this. Like,
so too late, buddy.
well, no, but that's not the thing, though.
That's what she's thinking.
Yes,
though.
that's what she's thinking. Yeah, but my thing is, the guy went out of his way
he made an effort
that he knew he had been lacking for years, probably, and all of a sudden the discouragement comes when he hears it. Maybe he didn't hear it, but that would discourage me.
But you know what? I commend y'all because I have seen the lines on Valentine's Day of the guy.
Dude, yeah.
My ex-husband, when we were dating, he would stood in line for 2 hours just to get me roses, and I'm like, this is all you got me? But this was a long time ago, and we had broken up. So
Norma,
it was a totally different person, but we had broken up, and I'm like, why are you bringing me flowers? I didn't realize that he waited 2 hours in line. Then I appreciated them.
And you probably paid like $150 for them too, because roses on Valentine's Day are not cheap.
Yeah, there were like 3 dozen multicolored ones. So
that was
$300.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it to your point, words in a relationship, you have to be careful. I am very, very adamant that I don't have my partner disrespect me. Yes. Because I was in a not a relationship, but we were talking, and he had this guy that I was dating had this mania of that. Fuck, motherfucker, or asshole. I'm like, excuse me, you do not talk to me like that. You can talk like that to your friends, or you like, bitch. You do not talk to me like that. Yeah. You set that precedent right in the front.
See, and I'm glad you said that, because one of my key points is I'm really big about not cussing at, or how can I say it? I cuss, right? But never at or in a situation or at the person that I'm with, right? I don't ever insult either. I never be like, oh, you're so stupid. No, I don't, because you can. The thing about words is you can never underestimate the power of how they can heal, reconcile, or even blow up something.
Right, because even when you're playing around with them, like, oh, you're such a fucking asshole.
No,
I know people.
Sure.
Even in my family, I just personal, but I would tell my friend I wouldn't do that, because later on, you guys are going to be talking like that, and it's going to become serious. Yeah, and it ended up happening.
You normalize disrespecting each other.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing, is you have to stop that, because once you do that and then your feelings get hurt, then you're like, well, you didn't have a problem with me calling you an asshole back then. We were joking around.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So for me, my words in a relationship are more words of affection. I'm a very affectionate person, even with my words. I'm like you, for example, honey, babe.
Right.
Anybody that knows me knows that I call my female friends babe, right? Or I call my male friends bro, right? That's like the equivalence of babe to me, right? I don't just call it, Randon. I have to have a nickname for him, the great
Randini.
Yeah, or Jonathan. I call him, either Junior or Son or Mijo or Juanathan or whatever, because I show affection with my words. So, because that's one of my love languages.
Yes.
I
words
use
of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, right? So if someone comes to me and let's say they made me dinner, I don't care that dinner's burnt to a crisp.
I
appreciate I appreciate the effort, and I'm like, and the fact that they thought of it, I'm like, hey, you know what? Thank you. And they may say, oh, it was so ugly. The dinner was, it was burned.
That was not me. I can guarantee that one.
Like,
that was
I'd be like, no, it was good.
My chicken was good. On point.
As you can tell, I haven't turned away a meal in quite a while. But that's what to me in a relationship. I don't complain about my spouse or my partner. I don't cuss at them. I use loving words, because you'll be surprised. There's a lot of relationships where the wife or the husband has never really heard, other than in
the negative.
They've never heard the other person say "I love you" or "thank you," or things that you would think are everyday things. I tell you guys I love you all the time. Things that you would think that person would say on a regular basis, because it's an emotion. That they should vocalize. They don't say it. I know people that I haven't heard my husband say "I love you" in 20 years.
Yeah, when we got married.
Yeah,
that was the only time.
Because that was part of my marriage vows. Yeah, so That's to me. If you're not using your words to build me up, respect me, and motivate me, I'm out.
Right.
That's me just me. It's a deal killer for me.
It is.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
No, I get that. But, with things like that, Orlando, that can, all of these these points that we're coming across have to do with you motivating yourself, preparing yourself, because a lot of everything that you do in your life it overlaps in each other aspect of your life, like business.
For example, for work,
For work, and in my job, I work from home, but still the training is there where they have a magic training, and it's
like
the power of
Mike?
it. Yeah, I want to go see that movie. Well, you wanted to because it's of Selma Hayek.
Well, I wanted to because a friend of mine convinced me to go with her and use Selma Hayek to sweeten the pot. But yeah, I haven't gone.
No, I would want to go to see her too. Just FYI, she's beautiful. However, but in this magic training, they talk about the kill words, like sorry, like we had just talked about.
Yeah.
So if you continuously use the word sorry, it can transfer over into your spiritual relationship, into your relationship, like a romantic relationship and business, because the worst thing you can do is if there's something wrong, I'm so sorry, and then the customer will go in for the kill. You were wrong, you said you were sorry, why did you do that, you told me this, well no I didn't, and that's when you become flustered. So learning not to
so let's say the alternative. I would rather use something like, hey, let me fix that for you, instead of I'm sorry, right?
Exactly.
Let me fix that for you, right? Okay, so in sales, we have the same thing, right? I'm a sales trainer, and that's one thing we there's certain words we don't use. Like we don't say, oh, let me sell you this, or you want to buy this,
right,
or sign the contract, or we don't say those things because those are deal killers, right?
Right.
We offer options, to make them kind of understand that they can buy any one of those 4 things, right?
And this is the last one. And would you
send
like
me this pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last one.
Write me a love letter. Oh, I can't. Boom.
Here you go.
Pen sold. Right. No. So again, in words, period. Right. The way this whole podcast topic started, because you ever heard of the nervous talkers?
Yes.
Like no matter what you're doing, they can't not just be silent and be in that comfortable silence. Well, a coworker of mine and I, we're doing. I'm a really deep thinker, so when I'm working, you guys know I'm a different person. Obviously, all these notes don't come from someone who has shallow thought, right? I mean, and so do yours, right? I'm a very deep thinker. I'm very, very organized, very precise in what I'm doing. So when I'm working, I'm focused on what I'm doing, right? And sometimes I have this little busy ear, this busy, little constantly there for every little thing. Oh look, the wall's black. Oh look, this and that. Oh look that. So I told my coworker, I was like, hey, listen, have you ever heard of the power of 1,000 words? There's a movie called.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
I did see it. 1,000 words.
1,000 words. Yeah. So in that movie, Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Like he's some kind of a agent or something like that, talent agent or whatever, and his word, he's constantly using his words for all kinds of crazy stuff, right? And he's got this like a guru, right? And he teaches him to know the power of what you're saying, right?
Right.
Obviously, we're behind a mic. What we say out there, it holds water because there's people listening to our show.
Correct.
Every episode we have,
we have a good following.
Yeah, we do. Thank God, and it's growing, and we appreciate you guys for that. But we can't just come out here and spit a bunch of nonsense. And we really have to do research on what we're going to talk about. I mean, these are just the notes that made the cut. I mean, we prepare for this, weeks in advance, right? But, because the power of our words have an impact. Like I said, they can be an atom bomb. They can be motivators. They can be used to uplift or bring down.
Right.
And we have a very big responsibility for what we say, right? And then how we choose to use our words. So anyway, so I'm telling this one person, like, the less you say sometimes, the more impact your words are going to make.
Right.
You have to choose them. And I know sometimes it's like a little nervous thing for some people that silence just it's too much for them to bear, right? So they have to say certain things, right? And I'm trying not to laugh, but
I know.
But
it's like I know. No, but I completely get it because even like when you go on a date and you start talking to this person and there's this silence. Sometimes that silence is actually really good because if you can be comfortable in that silence, then that partner is that person is somebody that you want to continue with. Because if not, they're like, oh yeah, and did you see that the pen, it actually writes blue.
And
did
sometimes
you
you
know?
have to be like, shut the fuck up
And you're
already.
like, I don't care. I'm watching the damn movie.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Because, okay, that's another thing. Like, you have to know when to talk and when not to talk, right? Some people...
But you have to be very mindful on how you say it. Say, hey, you know what,
And
honey,
read their
it's
body
okay.
language too, yeah.
You know what? It's okay. We don't have to talk all the time. We could just let's enjoy this silence.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hear you talk
See,
right now.
in some of the best relationships I've ever been in, we have really good conversation, but we have even better silences. And for me, who's naturally an introvert, okay, I force myself to be an extrovert. I do enjoy my silence.
Right.
I do enjoy your silence. And, I can sit there and do my work while you're watching TV or vice versa, or reading a book or whatever. Just knowing that you're in the room with me or in the house with me or whatever, I feel good about that, right?
Right.
I don't have to have like a constant conversation to where, okay, now what do I talk about? Like you said, what am I looking for? Like it's just busy talk, right?
Right.
I don't have to have that. And I enjoy that, so that way when that person does speak, it's more impactful, more profound, right? It comes out a little bit better, But I understand, not everyone's like me.
No.
I get that.
I know. And, for me, there's instances, especially when I get really upset, I'm very quiet. And I ask.
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
Always ask. If I'm upset, give me my time.
Yes.
Let me think about it. Because the moment you keep pushing me to answer your question, you're going to not like what I have to say because... Yeah. It's very rare that comes out on me, and it's happened once recently.
And that's a control thing for some people. Like, no,
Right.
you're going to talk because I want to hear it right now. Whatever's on your mind, I want to hear it right now.
Anybody that I talk to, I always say, if I get upset, please give me some time. Because, one, I have to pray about it. Two, I have to think.
You gotta pray about it.
I have to think, is this a valid reason to get upset about? And then three,
some people,
choose my words.
Yeah, because some people will fight to the death.
Right.
One argument, and it's like, to the death, literally.
And sometimes I really have to go to my friends, and not because I'm trying to spill my tea or anything with them, but I have to ask. Like one time I was upset. We went out, and the guy I was talking to went to the DJ after I told him, hey, I want to dance, some bachata or some salsa. And he goes out there, pays the DJ to play this line dance. I'm like, fool, I just asked you to dance and you paid $15 for this stupid song. I didn't say that. I stayed quiet. And he went out there and did his own dance. I'm like, I'm glad you enjoyed that freaking stupid ass dance. But I stayed quiet. Then I spoke to my friend and I said, hey, this is what happened. I didn't get upset. He says, well, it was stupid. That's stupid to say to make that argument. And that's the reason why I have to hold back, because is it really necessary? Was it really necessary to me get upset, make a big stink about it for a song? Really? That was a song that he enjoyed.
You're gonna ruin the whole night because you didn't get your song.
And I had to think about it on the reverse side. He wanted to dance to that song, and I was trying to kill it for him. And I didn't.
He was trying to peacock for you. The whole peacock. He's going to show you his feathers.
Whatever.
Maybe he's been rehearsing that song and dance the whole time. And
like, nobody knows how to dance this song.
This one, I'm going to show you what's up, girl.
All right. Okay. Yeah. We were dancing really good on the bachata in the country. I'm like,
he shut it down.
I shut that one down.
That's the thing. You like you said, sometimes you have to stop and say, okay, is it really worth it, to get upset over what he said or what she said or whatever, right? Because a lot of times, like I said, people go to war and then you can't take those, and they say all these other ugly things, and you can't take those words back. And then you build all these layers of callous over your heart. You're like, I'm not letting anybody out.
But that's why this is so important to start with yourself first, like your words of affirmation and starting these routines and seeing what it is that's not allowing you to use your words carefully and wisely, and how is it going to benefit? Because if you don't start now, you can always start. You can be this person that is very harsh, and you can change. Anybody can change at any time, but starting with yourself, it'll transfer over into every aspect of your life.
So I'm gonna give you an example about that. I love that point because look, my family was very loving. My dad was a very loving man. My mom's an extremely loving woman, but they never said I love you growing up. When we were kids, we didn't say I love you, right? And now it's just like overkill. I tell everybody, hey, I love you, and I love you. Hi, mom, I love you. Hey, bye, mom, bye, dad, I love you, I love you. And in the beginning, it was a little weird, I guess, for them because they weren't used to that. Now it's just like I love you. Sometimes they beat me to the I love yous, right? And I've seen it now with my kids and my nieces and nephews. They're more likely now to tell you that I love you because it started right. I'm gonna take the credit for it because I was the one that started saying I love you, and now they say it, and my niece lays down with me. And shout out to Lily. She actually asked me to give her a shout out, and Vivian, my nieces. But Lily will sit down next to me. She's like, "Tio, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love
beautiful.
you." And then she said, "I'll tell her I love you too." And she said, "No, you're supposed to say I love you more," or she'll tell me I love you more. But there's a lot of people that don't say that, right? So you mentioned the part when you're quiet. Be careful, right? There's also the whole too quiet, right? There's some people that don't use words at all,
right?
When they get mad or they're feeling different, instead of saying something so you can fix it, they just shut off completely.
That was me.
Yeah, and that's detrimental, right, for the relationship, the growth of the relationship. You have to be able to say, I'm calm now, and I want you to know that the fact that you said this to me really upset me. And the other person should, choose their words wisely and say, hey, you know what? Let me think about that. Let me pray on that one, and then maybe I'll come back.
You
and
have
say,
to have the same respect.
Yeah,
for
because
them.
if you don't say nothing to me at all ever, and all of a sudden just your demeanor changes and you start little by little start caring less and less about me, it could have just been you could have caught me on a bad day, and I could fix it after that, and you didn't give me the chance to either. Or maybe I grew up, in my family, we talk shit all the time. We're always dogging on each other.
Right.
But maybe your family's a little different. Maybe they say, oh, whatever, and then don't take something seriously, and all of a sudden you took it to heart, right?
Right.
It really hurt your feelings. Well, again, my upbringing's a little different than yours, right?
Oh, yeah. No.
I mean, I was raised by an Army Ranger. That man, if it was on his mind, he said
he
it.
was on your own. Yeah.
So,
No, it's different in every family. With me, it was just like when we would leave, like you said, that you would say, I love you. Vale más que le vayas a dar un abrazo y un beso a tu tía. Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah. So, and we did that. We're very affectionate, but we just never said, I love you. We never said that. It wasn't because we tried to avoid it or it just, we were not used to that.
Right.
My mom's a very quiet lady. Her actions speak louder than her words, right? So her affection and her love was shown to us, but it was never really said to us.
That was my mom.
Yeah. So now it's different. Now it's like, I love you, and I love you, and okay, mijo, I love you, and that's the way, but it had to, like you said, it has to start somewhere. So,
right.
Anyways, hey guys, we want to really thank you guys for being part of the show, with us, and this show, it was important to me because I know, as a motivator, as a trainer, I know that the impact of our words goes a long way, right? I've heard our pastor talk about, what you say is sometimes what you become, or what you say to somebody is what they think of themselves, right?
Exactly.
The words of affirmation are powerful.
Right.
Words of demeaning words are powerful as well. They can bless, or the Bible says that our tongue is like a dual-edged sword.
Right.
You can curse or you can bless. I choose after all these years to be more of a blessing to people, but
correct.
That's just me. But anyways, for the Wolfpack Show, we want to thank our sponsors. First of all, we want to thank Mr. Randon Works Photography. We want to thank the Center of Advanced Wellness, where we have our wonderful studio.
Right.
We want to thank Rhino Clean Hand Cleaners.
Z Graphics.
Z Graphics, yeah, the Chris over Z Graphics. We also want to thank the sponsors that we had for our Valentine's Day contest. We have Clara Beauty Nails,
Robert's Flower Shop.
Yeah, we have Aura Glow and Glitz,
Double A Barbecue, and Finks Cigars. I'm pretty sure our winners were super excited.
So before we sign off, I'm gonna say this. I delivered a dozen roses from Robert's Flowers to one of our winners.
Right.
The lady's name is Laura. Mm-hmm. She's the one that commented how the reason why she stays single is because the love of her life had already passed.
Right.
And there was not going to be anyone ever that ever replace them. Right. And if you look at their post, the post that she would post about them, they just look like a beautiful couple. You can tell he loved her, and she appreciated all the love he ever gave her. So we, Jonathan and I went and surprised her with the help of our friend Elsa. Went and surprised her at a restaurant when her and Elsa were having lunch on Valentine's Day. Uh-huh. And if you want to see it, you got to go to our Wolfpack Show.
It's beautiful.
Yes, go to our Wolfpack Show Facebook page and our Instagram at the Wolfpack Show, and you'll see it. I mean, Jonathan recorded me walking up with the roses. the look on her face.
She was
shed a ton of
crying.
tears. Yes, she was super excited because
Just so happy.
yeah, that day she thought she was gonna have a bad day because, of course, her loved one wasn't with her,
Right.
physically, but he is spiritually. And we again we want to thank all of you guys for
Making
for
this
making it
happen.
happen. Yeah, because you commented, you joined the contest. We thank our sponsors. Without you guys, we
Right.
couldn't have done that. But yeah, definitely a great experience. You guys have to go on there and check it out.
Yes,
And while you're on
please
there,
do so.
please like and follow our pages. Tell others about us. That's the only way we're going to grow and spread the good word.
Yes.
With your help. But
Yes.
again, for the Wolfpack Show, I'm Orlando Cardenas,
I'm Norma Luna.
and we thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.